crime friends. We clutch our pearls and laugh again. We all gather around. Kathy has a story to tell, our favorite comedian. Heifer, please, I don't have the free time unless you got the scoop again. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away.
Wait, I can still hear the song playing twice. Oh, that was weird. Hey, Paul. Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. Wait, I have I have something open because I'm hearing myself twice. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Oh, I hope I don't close us out. Okay, there we go.
How's that?
Technical difficulties. Okay. What's going on?
Not
Anything
much.
new happening in your world?
Just, same old, getting over a little bit of, being down, a little sick, but I'm feeling better. Um,
Oh no.
Not no death cap mushroom, not none of that.
Nobody has poisoned you. Have we made sure of that?
I don't know, possibly. The dogs have been kind of side-eyeing me all day long, so they might have figured out we can have full access to the treat box and the food if we just get rid of the human.
Oh my God. The dogs might have slipped you a little bit of death cap mushroom. Who
I
knows?
know, right? How have you been doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Wait, I just saw in chat who Kathy is from Indianapolis, Fort Wayne here. Yes, Kathy was born and raised in Indianapolis a long time ago.
And hello, everybody. I hope everyone out there is doing well. Thank you, all the mods, for being here and hanging out and keeping the cushions fluffed and hanging out with Kathy and I.
Yes.
Luke is currently he's chewing off the corner of my little portable computer desk. Now he's working on this thing, but it's keeping him quiet. So that's why my camera's
Okay.
kind of doing like this. And at this point, I'm like, just let him have it.
Whatever
I
it
hand it
takes.
over. You know that show, My Strange Addiction or whatever, where the girl's like, I hate
Yes.
a chair and a half. That's where I'm at right now. I'm like, well, Luke's gone through one computer table and working on the ottoman, but yeah, I just let him have him at this point if it gets us through the day.
Seriously. Somebody sent me a birthday card. I picked it up in the mail yesterday. I think it's still in the car. I went to my P.O. box and the card had a picture of a scruffy little Yorkie on the front of it. And they said, when I saw this, I thought of Not Spike. And I was like, and as soon as I saw it, before I read it, I was like, oh my God, somebody sent me a Not Spike birthday card. I love it so much.
I love that.
It's so crazy.
So with this, Shayna was like, Paul, you have to ask Kathy if she'll read through this thing with you because it'll be perfect. And I was like, oh God, yes, that's why you heard me hit you up. And so then today, like I was telling you earlier, I recorded my own dramatic reading for the other channel or whatever of it. So what we're going to be reading through, just to kind of get us all on the same page here, is this is a transcript of an interview between the detective and Aaron Patterson. And there's two detectives, pardon me, and this is just one of the interviews where they're sitting her down and being like, okay, girl, what's up, right? And so one of the things to kind of look for, everybody, when we're reading this, if you haven't already read it, is now that we're putting all the evidence together that's come out after this is another piece of the evidence of you're watching her lying in not real time, but back then real time or whatever, when the cops and everybody all kind of knew these answers, and she's totally lying, totally getting caught in the lie. And side note, so just to kind of go over a couple little things real quick we were talking about beforehand. So all this evidence has come out now. The doctor has spoken out who first saw her at the hospital. He was like, girl was for a second she came in talking about, I bought them at Woolworths. He was like, go on and take her out back. She's done. Talking about the evil vibe. I mean, he does not like this woman. I mean, he has come out extensively. And then people came after him talking about that's not professional, that's not this, that's not that. And he's like, good luck getting my, medical license taken. She's a crazy, what. So he is speaks like one of us would, right? It's
oh my God. There's
But
so many levels to this case. Oh my God.
there really is. And now that, and I was talking about in my video today about it towards the end of it, where I was like, okay, so in Australia, we get all the information after the fact. In America, or over here with our justice system, we're getting this stuff like this transcript. We would have had that like a
Yeah.
day after, and it was really whatever, right? And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
granted, I like getting the information leading up to it, but there's been something interesting getting it after the fact, where it's almost like this, oh, so y'all knew this whole time, kind of a thing,
Yes.
right? Almost like a surprise. Luke, stop. Look.
That's what's happening in this case. Well, that's what happened in this case in where was that case I just covered? Iowa, with what's her name? Karina Cooper. There's all this stuff. I mean, little bits and pieces of it we knew ahead of time, but now that the case has wrapped up, a lot more information has come out. Um, they held everything very, very, very close to the vest. And now there's like this bit of information, that bit of information. It's fascinating.
Now, is this the one who killed her parents? Is this what we're?
The girl who, her and her boyfriend, she was in her 40s. She had a lover in his 20s, and they shot the husband. And then she acted like, oh, my boyfriend went rogue and shot my husband. I loved him. I mean, yes, I kept threatening to shoot my husband in the face over and over again. And it's just a coincidence that my boyfriend shot him in the face. Oops, I can't imagine why that would have happened. She just got convicted on Friday. It was crazy. It's a crazy case.
Oh wow, that does sound interesting. Luke, stop.
Nuts. Just so everybody knows, Paul and I are both using the question feature. So on YouTube, just like you can drop a what do you call it, a poll. We're also using the question feature, and mine is, what are your questions for this case? I see a couple of questions have already come in. Thank you so much to KPT, Silver Fox, and we're going to hold on to those until a little bit later in the broadcast, and we will read through all of your questions and answer whatever you have, because some of the questions you have may be answered in the course of our discussion. Paul, what question did you post up on your side?
Okay, so for my newly learned feature tonight, I have posted, and let me find it. I basically just said, what cases do you want to talk about this week? But then my question would be this, like very generic kind of thing. Where do I see the answers to them? Do I just click the little box up there?
Yeah, so at the top of the box, it says, hang on, what are the options? At the top, it says top chat, live chat, questions, or fan funding. If you click over to the questions tab, it'll show your question and it'll show all the answers that people have. That nobody may have put anything in it yet.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
You see
Okay.
it?
Yep. Perfect. Oh, I
Okay,
like
I
that.
can't hear you all of a sudden. Oh, there you are. I got you. I got you.
I'm here. I'm
You're
here.
here. You're here. You're here.
Okay.
You're
Yeah. This
here.
is yeah. That's cool. I'm gonna start using that.
Yeah, so much easier than trying to fish the questions out with people writing double, triple Q's and whatever else. This way they're there, they're set to the side and you don't miss anybody.
Absolutely. Now I'm gonna pull up
Yes.
on my other screen here the little script thing,
Okay,
and
I printed it out. I have it on paper.
oh sweet. Let me just get to my little calendar. Put this here.
Please do take your time, sir. We are here. We are waiting. We are on the very edge of our respective seats. Also, while Paul's pulling up their scripts, everybody don't forget to like and subscribe on both channels, Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo, and Reporting Live from My Sofa, the podcast channel. This is on your podcast channel, right? Not your regular main feed?
Correct. Yeah.
You're basically a mogul at this point. You got 2 channels going strong. Oh, my God.
I tell you what, I like so the podcast channel is the more casual one or whatever,
Yeah.
and I really enjoy that dynamic or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Of just like it's just more
Yeah.
casual. Like I call it the unedited version because the other ones just turn into like where all the edited stuff goes or whatever.
Right. Right.
But I want to start doing like a monthly live chat over on that one to kind of
Oh,
get
that's
because
cool.
it reminds me or I forget whenever I do a live chat over there, well, people be like, I haven't like even though the crossover audience is there, there's
Yeah.
still people who don't like over here where they're like they don't want to see the edited thing, vice versa, the kind of a thing. So when they'll be
Yeah.
on, they're like, "Oh my god, I've never seen a live by you," and I'm just like, "Well, I post them," and but you know what I'm saying? It's just the
Yeah.
algorithm. There's people who I watch religiously, but when they go live, Like I'm thinking, I think the Lore Lodge is one. Like I don't watch their live chats because I'm like, no, I
Oh,
watch the Lore
interesting.
Lodge whenever I go. Like that's who I go to sleep to. I put them under my pillow, and like I just don't do the. It takes me out of my rhythm with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
so I
Agreed.
think that some of that happens, or whatever. So yeah.
I have a headband with a Bluetooth, like a not a headband, a what do you call it? An eye mask that has Bluetooth earbuds built into it, so it covers my eyes and it helps me sleep really soundly because there's no light in the room. And then I can put my podcast, I can put my ASMR, whatever, and so I sleep to a nice relaxing murder.
I love that. Every last bit of that. Oh my gosh. I sleep with my dark
Yes.
meter BiPAP machine
Oh,
stuck to my
CPAP.
face. Yeah.
My husband has this. Oh, and also I do also have a second channel that I don't talk about a whole lot, but my second channel is called Confessions of a Neighborhood Gossip. Um,
Yes.
it's this close to being monetized, so maybe I should talk. Yes, the
Yes. Talk
Music
about it.
Cozy. That's the name of it. Wait. I sleep with the Music Cozy. That's the eye mask with the earphones in it.
Hey
My
Tori. Hey Tux.
my
Hey Audra.
my second channel is Confessions of a Neighborhood Gossip, where I take because my main channel, I started to say reporting live from my sofa. That's your channel. Gossip, rumor, and innuendo is true crime all the time. Confessions of a Neighborhood Gossip are real stories from my real life told in my same sort of gossipy way, lightly fictionalized to protect the guilty and the innocent. Confessions of a Neighborhood Gossip is very similar to my members only content, where I'm telling you like the good, or what happened on the block, what happened at the funeral, what happened at the barbecue up the street. Like, girl, you're not gonna believe. But I do change some names. It's like if something happened to my uncle, I might say it happened to my aunt or vice versa, because I do have relatives, and that's a public channel. And some people may recognize themselves in their bad behavior.
They're gonna be
So
like,
when you get a
get
minute,
Kathy on the phone. She's over here talking smack. I know that was about me.
look, I recently recounted something that happened at a funeral that I was like, oh my Jesus, I hope my relatives don't see this because people will definitely recognize themselves. Okay. But Julie Martin, if you will post your question on the questions tab, I'll be sure to grab it later. I saw you had the three questions, the three Qs, but I didn't see all of your questions. So if you will put your question in the question tab, we will grab it later. And Paul, you want to start with the script?
Yes. So
You ready?
yeah, I'm gonna make you smaller and I'm gonna put you right over here. Oh
It's fine.
no, it's trying to get tricky. Okay, there. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna be the detective, starting off David Martin Alcade. You're gonna be
Yes.
Aaron, if that's okay with you. So you are. So this is what you're giving murderous mushroom massacre. You're giving. I'm trying to get
Sad
out of
sack.
trouble. This is your
I got
motivation
you.
for the scene.
I got you. Getting into character. Getting into character. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so all right, Aaron, do you agree that the time now I'm gonna try to say this. I will slip between an Australian accent, which is really bad, and I always do my like country Southern man accent when I'm playing the judge or like the prosecutor or something. So that's just what I end up doing. But because it's
Wait, my ceiling
Australian,
is about to blow my pages away. Let me just turn the ceiling fan down a little bit. My pages are going crazy. Okay, go ahead.
okay, all right, Aaron. Now, do you agree that the time is now 4:41 p.m. by my watch?
Yep. Yep.
All right, now could you please state your full name and address for me?
Aaron Trudy Patterson. I didn't murder anybody. 84 Gibson Street, Leongatha.
All right, now, Aaron, I intend to interview you today in relation to the death of two people. Those people being Gail Patterson and Heather Wilkinson. Now, before continuing, I must inform you that you do not have to say or do nothing. But anything you do or say is being recorded and may be used in evidence in court.
Hey,
Do you understand that information?
yeah.
All right. Now, I must also inform you of the following rights. You may communicate with or even attempt to communicate with a friend or relative. Tell that person, your whereabouts, kind of like that TV show, call a friend, whatever you want to say.
Okay.
You may communicate with or attempt to communicate with a legal practitioner. If you're not an Australian citizen or permanent resident here in the Australias, you may communicate with or attempt to communicate with the consular office of the country of which you are a citizen.
Okay.
Do you understand all of these rights?
Yep. I also have a triangle ready in case I need to cry. Go ahead.
Okay, you do what you got to do, girl. Okay, now do you wish to exercise any of these rights before we get to interviewing?
No audible reply.
All right, look, I need a verbal
No, sorry.
response.
No, I don't.
Okay, now that's all right. That's all right. Now, I'll just confirm with you that you've had an opportunity to speak to a solicitor
Yep.
before this interview commenced.
Yep.
Okay, now, and you're happy with that.
Yep.
Well, all right. Now, I'll also remind you that your rights are with you for the entire time you're with us. Okay.
Hey, I feel very, very innocent right now. All right.
Okay, let me find it. Hold on, I got mixed up here. Hold on.
Page
Please
3.
hold. Please hold. Here we go. There you are. Okay. All right. Now, if you decide later on that you want to exercise any of those rights,
Yeah,
you just let me know and
sure.
we'll
Sure.
do that. All right. Now, what is your age and date of birth?
48. 30th of the 9th, 74. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Go ahead.
Now, are you an Australian citizen?
Yes.
Are you a permanent resident here in the Australias?
I was born here and I live here and I'm a resident of Australia.
Yeah.
Is that what that
Yeah. Now that's fine.
Okay, okay.
Now, are you of Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander descent?
No.
Okay, well now, what's your mobile phone number, Aaron?
0 Ooh, they got numbers to start with 0. 0480-535-835.
All right, now you got an email address?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's ESH
yeah. Go on, spit it out.
301430 at gmail.com. What a weird email address.
I know.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, now look, as we discussed earlier, we've been together for what, a few hours now, feels like days, but it was after 11:30 that we came to your house today.
Hmm.
Now we want to discuss the deaths of Heather Wilkinson and Gail Patterson today with you.
Yep.
Now, when we were at the house earlier, we discussed that you hadn't really been kept in the loop, and it had come as news to you that Heather and Gail had both passed away. Oh wait, I'm sorry.
That's
Hold on.
you.
Okay, well, all right. So now,
She didn't give
following
an answer to that.
I know, right? So following eating at your house, Donald, Ian, Gail, and Heather all became so ill that they ultimately ended up in the intensive care unit at both the Dandenong Hospital and then moved to the Alston Hospital. All right. Now, following that, they had a deterioration in their condition and that they become so ill that their lives have failed. All right. Okay. Now, Donald
No
underwent,
answer.
yeah, I would have loved, side note, to have known what if we could have seen the recording of this, what she was literally doing during this. Because I just imagine her doing
Clutching her
this
pearls.
literally. So Donald underwent a transplant last night. Okay, and his condition is still extremely critical as of last report. Okay, now Heather and Gail, they've passed away. All right. Now, in relation to Ian, I don't have a current prognosis in relation to where he's at. Okay, but as of late yesterday, and hold on, let me change the page here for a second now. Okay, as of late yesterday, the diagnosis ain't great for him either. Okay, we're trying to understand what exactly has made them so ill.
Trying very hard to work up a tear. My triangle is almost about to get wet.
Now, do you understand
Yeah.
why we're asking these questions?
Yeah.
Now, the other, conversely, we're trying to understand is why you're not that ill, Aaron. Okay, now, so do you understand why we're interviewing you today?
Yep, I do.
Yeah, yeah,
But I'm sure you understand that too. Like, I've never been in a situation like this before. I've been very, very helpful with the health department through the week because I wanted to help that side of things
yes,
as much as possible
yep,
because I want to know what happened.
yeah.
So I've given them as much information as they've asked for and offered up all the food and all the information about where the food came from.
Now, I fully understand that. All right.
Yeah.
All right, now look. So at the house, and I must say for the record again, everybody, okay, you were very helpful at the house. Okay, yes, you did point out a couple of things for us that that they'll help us with our investigation. Okay, mainly that fruit platter that you said Heather brought for you and the gravy in the fridge. Okay, yep, in the pantry. You said that was from that night. You kept on, you kept it on from the advice of the health department. You did good there, Aaron.
Yeah.
So, thank you for that. Now, you also pointed out a recipe book on the counter, and you referred me to a, let's see, page, let's see, 250 odds, I don't know, but a recipe for the beef, the Wellingtons. Uh, Now, you indicated that you indicated was the recipe you cooked, okay? Now, what we saw at your address in Lee and Gath, all right, we didn't see a lot of food that was from an Asian grocer or even an Indian grocers or any of those kind of stores.
Did you look in my fridge? I've got a lot of Asian cooking, and other assorted minorities may have done this, not me.
Okay.
It's stuff in my fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, all right now. Now, are we likely to find more of that kind of stuff in your Mount Waverly address? Do you think, or
No, because I did a big clean out of the pantry and fridge the last time I was there, okay? Cuz I've got to sell that place.
okay? All right.
So the pantry and the fridge there,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, yeah, empty.
Yeah, so now look, so you want to sell that place. I understand you're saying all right, but earlier at the house we had a conversation about that place, and you told me that you were kind of holding on to it because your son would be going to uni in a few years and the like, you know.
But he so the thought when buying it was because I went to Monash Uni and it's close to Monash Uni. And
Yeah, yeah, keep on.
back when I bought it, well, I thought that redacted.
Yeah, yeah.
So a house near Monash is of no use.
But okay.
And now the kids are going to school redacted, which is very long from home. I've been having thoughts about selling Mount Waverly and buying something redacted and said, um, so we've got a house redacted.
All right. Yeah, no problem, Aaron. Now, obviously, got some concerns in relation to these mushrooms and where they've come from.
I mean, I referred to some all-purpose minorities in the community.
Okay, now, is that something you've done in the past, this whole foraging mushrooms?
Never.
Anything like that? Never?
Never.
Hmm. All right. Do you preserve foods or anything like that?
No.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever dehydrated food or anything?
No.
Hmm. Like that? Okay. Well, all right. Now let's see here. You've described to me relationship with your ex-partner Simon, and all right, let's see what else. I'd like to understand why you had his parents and his uncle and his auntie over for lunch on the 29th of July.
Because I've got no family. Did she kill them all? So they're the only support I've got
Okay, yeah.
left, and they've always been really good to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I wanted to maintain those relationships with them
Yeah, yeah.
in spite of what's happening with Simon.
Yes, okay, okay.
I love them a lot.
Yeah, of course, of course.
They've always been really good to me, and they always said to me that they would love and emotional support, even though Simon and I were separated, and I really appreciated that
Yeah, okay, yeah.
because my parents are both gone.
Yeah.
My grandparents are all gone. Does she feed her grandparents? They're the only family I've got.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bless you, Mary. Yeah.
And they're the only grandparents that my children have, and I want them to stay in my kids' lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's really important to me. And I think Simon hated that I still had a relationship with his parents, but I love them.
Well, yeah, of course you do, Aaron.
Nothing that's ever happened between us, nothing he's ever done to me will change that. Nothing he's ever done to you, girl. Okay, sorry. Nothing he's ever done to me will change the fact that they're good and decent people that have never done anything wrong to me ever.
Yeah, so, well, look, we've been told that on the 31st of July, so that's 2 days after the lunch, you, Aaron, went to the old Leongatha Hospital, okay? And that you, Aaron, were only there for about 5 minutes. Then you left. Now, could you just explain to me, please? Explain to me like I'm stupid, okay? But why were you there for just 5 minutes?
Yeah, because I just went there thinking I needed a couple of bags of saline because I was really dehydrated.
Now, it's also been told that you were wearing some white breeches with no skid marks.
Sorry. Oh, and they said, oh my God. And they said we want to admit you and send you to Melbourne.
Yeah, that's terrible. Terrible.
And when you've got animals at home
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
and children who have multiple after school activities, you can't just be told to drop everything and you're off to Melbourne overnight. So I had to go home and feed the animals and pack my daughter's ballet bag.
Ballet comes before death. I get it.
Right. And I did that.
Yes,
I went
absolutely.
back.
Yes, of course. And now, who did you speak to there?
So I walk in
Yeah, go on, speak up.
and there was like I don't think there was a nurse. I was like, I don't know. I couldn't be enrolled. It could have been an enrolled nurse, or there was like a helper person in the triage room, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Keep on going.
And she was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "Well, no, I have to run to the toilet. I've got diarrhea." Ooh, that is a weird spelling of diarrhea. Okay. I got the diarrhea. I got the mud butt. And she wasn't quite sure where it was. And so she went and found out and showed me where it was. And then she said, "I'll go and find someone. I'll get a nurse or a doctor for you." And so I went to the toilet. I came back out and I was waiting in the triage room and the doctor came out. And the doctor came out.
Dr. Webster, yeah.
And he was like, sorry, you're going to be a little while because we've got a lot of, because, wait, sorry, we're going to be a little while because we've got a couple of critical patients in the hospital. And I said, that's fine. Don't worry about me. I've got a gastro case. I'm not urgent, obviously. He said, oh, what's your name? I said, Aaron. And he says, oh, we're expecting you because other people that you ate with on Saturday were sick.
Yeah.
And he said, can you come through? And I said, sure. And I came in. And then he said to me, I can't say the exact words, but he said something along the lines of, we've got a concern you've eaten death cap mushrooms.
Okay, keep on going.
And I said, what? And I clutched my pearls. And he said, yeah, that's what I'm thinking they've eaten.
Yeah, go on.
And then he started asking me about what food I served them, and I told him.
All right, okay, now let's just recap here. So I understand you went down to the hospital and got treatment in that.
For the mud butt.
And now, what kind of treatment did you get for the mud butt?
Well, they hooked me up to a drip.
A drip.
For a while, yeah.
Wait, yeah,
That's you.
keep on. Yeah.
They said that because we're concerned. So Dr. Webster had to leave. I think it was at the end of his shift, and he passed it on to another doctor,
Yeah, who was that?
Dr. Foote. And she said, because the concern is that everybody's eating something that hurts your liver, we need to give you this
Yeah.
protective medicine.
But yeah, of course.
And so there was saline and isil something other. I don't know.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. You don't know. Keep on going.
What it was, but she said we need to give you this, but then put you in an ambulance up to Melbourne where they can give you more. I don't know what the word is, more, where they can care better for you.
Yeah.
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 So I got saline and this other stuff, and I went in an ambulance up
Okay, now hold on. How long were you in the hospital for down in Melbourne?
till Tuesday morning.
Okay, so hold on. Monday to Tuesday. These other people are in here for weeks. Okay, keep on going. Yes. Okay, so again, for full disclosure, so you understand, we've obtained warrants in relation to the medical records for everyone involved in this.
Okay.
And so we will get medical records in relation to your treatment there as well.
Sure.
Okay?
Good.
Now, you were at home and present when we did a search warrant today, all right? I know you weren't watching everyone all the time or nothing,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to go through on tape some of the stuff that and like I said, we'll give you a copy of this,
Sure.
but all the stuff that we seized. Okay, so let's just start at the top here. Okay, we'll start with what I consider the best thing we got from there with your little unfamiliarity with the dehydrator. So let's see, in the kitchen, far left bottom drawer, we do have an instruction manual for a Sunbeam Food Lab electronic dehydrator. That's pretty interesting. Now, what is that in relation to? Do you know anything about a dehydrator in your house? Or
No,
oh,
no,
no. Okay, so you own a dehydrator?
no.
No. All right. Okay.
I've got manuals for lots of stuff I've collected over the years. You know how you collect manuals for things like everybody does. I've got all sorts of appliances and I just keep all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, when did you own a dehydrator?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't had one. I've had one years ago.
And what'd you use it for?
Like the first thing was a thermomix I got really excited about, like making everything from scratch.
Ooh, okay.
And and
Yeah, go on.
I did a lot of, like everything from scratch ingredients, and I did a lot of that. So
Interesting.
I could have had something like that
Oh, yeah, okay.
through the years.
Okay, let's just keep going here. So down here we got in the kitchen bench located against the wall. We got a recipe 10 eats book. Okay. Now I'm not sure. Again, that's that recipe book.
That's you again.
Oh, whoops. Oh, I'm sorry.
I
Okay,
think.
that's the case book that we,
Mm,
the Wellington recipe came out of. Yeah, all right. Well, from the fridge, we got that old fruit salad platter that you pointed out.
yes.
It was good too. Now, also in the fridge in the butler's pantry, we got the white jug containing the brown, I don't know, liquid or something that you pointed out as well. All right.
Yep.
And thank you for that. I know that puts you out to point that out, and I do appreciate that. Now, from the study, we took the computer, we took another computer,
Mm.
and we took another computer.
Mm.
All right. Now, in the lounge, we grabbed an iPad in the black and red case from your son's room. We've grabbed a computer.
Oh, that's an old one. I have up in the top of his cupboard.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a very old one.
Oh, all right. So that if I had to prioritize, that would be maybe on the bottom of the list.
I don't think anyone's powered that one on in a very, very long time. Please don't check it.
Okay. All right. No dramas there, obviously. No sirree. We'll not look at that for a long time. Now, all right. We'll pop that one at the back of the list. How's that, Aaron? All right. Now, next we got a black mobile phone. I think that's going to be son's phone, which I'll prioritize tomorrow for you.
Thank you.
Now, upstairs bedroom number 2, far left towards the backyard. It says Aaron's bedroom, so I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that's yours. An Apple iPad from there.
I don't own any iPads, so they would be tablets, Android tablets.
Okay. There's a Samsung tablet listed below that's located on the top of the bed.
Yeah.
So maybe they've got it wrong.
Hmm.
And it's not an iPad, it's some
Yeah.
other tablet. It's the daughter's Samsung tablet, an Oppo mobile phone, and your mobile phone.
Hmm.
All right, so let's see here.
All right. It's so the Oppo is Son's.
Okay, yeah.
And so you said a black mobile phone earlier.
Yeah, I did.
So that would be a Nokia. It's a really old Nokia that I've got for like, if you break your phone
Oh yeah, of course.
and you've got to send it away for repair and so I've got this like really
Yeah.
old thing. So
That's fine. That's fine.
yeah.
Oh, the son's Oppo phone's the old thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your mobile phone
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about
About his school.
his work,
School.
school computer,
Yeah.
followed by
The GeoForce 1.
the GeoForce One.
Yep.
Okay, now I think I'm going to pause here for a second. David, is there anything that you would like to get off your chest here? Well, yeah, you know what? There is just one thing I want to clarify to make sure I've got it all right. Okay. Now you
Enter
obviously,
Detective Senior Constable Martin Alclade. Is that how you say that?
I think so. You obviously would have seen me taking notes. Now, when you went to the Leongatha Hospital, and you said that you went in there,
Hmm.
and you got shown to the toilet.
Mm.
But then you said you had to go back home to pack stuff.
Mm.
And your daughter's bag and that sort of thing.
Mm.
Feed the damn animals.
Mm.
And when you had the conversation with Dr. Webster, was that when you first went there or afterwards? Because I don't remember all
I
that.
I don't remember.
Okay, look, that's all. Now look,
I
the
don't
other
remember.
okay, that's all. That's fine. Now the other thing that I should mention that again, to your credit, okay, give credit where credit's due. The police went around to your house on that morning,
Yeah,
yeah, on the 31st,
that's right.
and they were obviously responding to the hospital call to check up on you.
Yeah, the hospital should have minded their business, but
Now, when they spoke to you on the phone, you gave them the PIN code for your gate, correct? And then
no
you
response.
directed them to the bin where there was some leftovers, correct?
Correct.
Oh, I'm sorry. What are those leftovers that you directed them to, Aaron?
That was the uneaten food from the lunch.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So, I mean, you helped them in getting that, we could say. So
Mm-hmm.
it could be sent off.
Because my kids ate the meal too.
Oh, well, yes, of course.
But there was stuff that was left over.
Well, yeah.
And it went straight in the bin. And so when I went to the hospital, they said they were concerned that everyone ate some contaminated food. I said, well, there's leftovers in the bin. You can have it.
So helpful, yeah.
Feel free to look through it.
Yeah, we will. Thank you.
And I said, I'll go and get it for you. I'll go and wait. And I said, I'll go and get it if you want. And they said, that's fine. You need to go on a drip. We'll call the police. And I said, well, that's fine. Just let them.
Yeah,
No, I need to give them the PIN code.
absolutely.
So they did that. And a bag of food appeared a bit later.
Like magic, yep.
So,
Yeah, so, yeah, go on.
yeah.
Well, well, okay, well, I think we're all good here. So thanks again. Thank you for helping us locate that. I know that was a lot to do on your part there.
That's fine.
All right, now is there anything else we got here? No, you're all right. Now, look, any questions at the moment for us?
No.
All right. Now, Aaron, do you agree the time is now 5:30
Yeah.
p.m. by my watch?
Yeah. Can I get the hell out of here?
Well, yeah, I guess I'll suspend the interview now.
How many lies can one lady tell in one interview? She's like, I
So,
just keep manuals. You don't keep manuals? I keep all my old manuals.
so here's the thing. So you saw that whole part there where it's like she gets caught all in that whole thing. Now at this point too, I'm guessing they don't have the video foot, or maybe they do have it, but she doesn't know they have it, of her going to the garbage place with the dehydrator
Right.
going away. So it's like so obvious. Now, also the part too that this will forever just bog me down and blow my mind about this. The fact that if she had said, now I'm not trying to come up with ways for her to get away with this. If she had
Right.
gone into this talking about, I foraged the wrong mushrooms, I'm an idiot, she probably could have gotten like involuntary manslaughter, something of the
Absolutely.
nature. But she absolutely just locked into
Yeah.
no, the Asian grocer, the Indian grocer, the whole thing.
Crazy.
That part just
Yeah.
blows my mind.
She just lied and lied and lied. Carrie RH says, well, she obs failed shut up class. She absolutely failed shut up class. Like, girl, mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. Too much. too much. Just over and over and over, needless lies. Had she been a criminal mastermind, which clearly she's not, and thank God she's not, she might have been able to get away with this had they not been able to bring in the evidence of her poisoning everybody she ever met prior to this.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's the
You think
whole
somebody can
thing.
be a compulsive poisoner? Like, there's got to be a psychological something's happening here.
Okay, well, another thing that was interesting too is in reading. Okay, so there's this other article that somebody did that was kind of like digging into her past because she did all these different things. She was an air traffic control person. She was a this. She was a that. One of the things that she used to do at her air traffic control job is she would call in to work pretending to be another employee, calling out sick to try and get, oh, thank you, Lauren, for the memberships. To try and get, they were like basically thinking she was doing it to get extra money for the shifts that the person wasn't there. But then a person recalled her being in the corner and laughing at an employee while the boss is like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? And her kind of like snicker or whatever. And I was like, okay, this goes to like, imagine Erin sitting there feeding these people beef Wellington, knowing she has just given them a lethal dose of that, but she's like getting off on watching them, pardon me, eat this poison, do all this yada yada. And so that whole thing about her calling out for sick for somebody and then like watching and kind of with the sinister thing, there's something to do with like where the person returns to the scene of the crime. It's almost like the build up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
yes. She wants to see her evil works.
yeah,
It's
completely.
so deeply weird. She's so deeply like I've never seen a criminal like that. We see all kinds of crazy criminals and whatever. This is just so next level to me. It's wild.
And it just keeps going and going and going. Now, I'll be curious to see, obviously, like, sentencing, like the where does the cookie completely crumble with the case?
Yes.
The other
Yes.
thing that's like really weird for me to wrap my mind around is because, and I guess this is kind of sad to say or whatever, but like, how here in the States, this level of crime is almost like a Tuesday afternoon to us, where it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
name
yeah.
who this week has pulled something this crazy. To see
Mhm.
how like she has gone down an absolute infamy in Australia is just like this.
Right.
She's going to be the legend, a lore legend kind of a thing for decades to come. That
For
part just
sure.
blows my mind. And I wonder if she
Maybe she
enjoys.
loves the fame. Maybe
I mean,
she's
you have
enjoying
to
the
wonder.
fame.
And the whole thing,
Wow.
even with the cops in this interview we read, where she's sitting there talking about, I love them. They're like my family. They're this and that. And I'm just like, do you really think that? Or are you just saying
Right.
that? She goes on and on about how much that they were. Oh yeah, Yolanda with a comment about the arsonist watching the house burn down.
Yep.
Absolutely, literally 100%.
It's so
Literally 100%.
weird.
Oh,
The
and
fact that
Dominique
she
said,
poisoned oh wait, did you see
I
part?
haven't put it up there, but Dominique said, I'm just looking at my
I'm
chat.
about 90% sure the kids would have started getting sick or worse. Oh yeah,
Yes, the
hardcore
kids were
housing.
next. Yeah,
For
100%.
sure.
If
For
she had gotten
sure.
away with this is what I was thinking today. So after I was going through all the all the stuff that she did with Simon trying to kill him, I personally think what
Mm.
happened is she was like, the antifreeze ain't working, the rat poison ain't working. She was like, Bo, Lou, honey, stop. She was like, I'm gonna do what I know is gonna work. I'm gonna get the death cap
Unbelievable.
mushrooms, and I'm gonna take out this whole damn family, all of them.
It's so wild. It's so wild. There are a ton of questions over here in my question box. Let's see.
Oh yeah, let's get going.
Um, KPT, does the mushroom monster have minor children in her care? Not anymore. Where are those kids now? Do we know?
I guess there was Simon.
Oh, that would make sense. That would make sense. Silver Fox asked, "Hey, Gossip Girl, side note, is Wayne Wilson for real out for unalive? Is Wayne Wilson for real out of Unalive Row? I have no idea. I have not followed Wayne Wilson." Megan Easton asks, "Where can I find these and leave?" Okay, never mind. She's like, and leave me anonymous after I say her name. Where can you find these? What? Girl, you trying to get some death caps? Stop. Okay. How are the kids? How are the kids? Question mark. Living with dad, and did they have to testify? Did her kids testify? Do we know?
I don't think they did, but I cannot remember.
Mm,
I do not. I don't. Hush. Maybe they did actually.
I
I
don't
can't
remember.
now. I should
I
remember
feel like early on, at least the son testified,
that.
but there have been so many cases. This case took a long time.
Oh wait, so curiously, this is they use the recorded police interviews. That's right. So yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
yes. Wait, let me see if I can snag it. There we go.
APT
Yeah,
says
they
Willie
used their
was
recorded
found
police
alive.
interviews.
They were disposed. Okay,
Right.
thank you, Londa. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the kids were deposed. Okay, that is good to know. Oh wait, and Carrie says yes, the eldest did testify, but maybe that was the deposition that they played. I'm not sure.
Because I can't remember how.
Have her
Go ahead. Oh, hey, down under.
have her children supported her or not? Do we know?
I don't know. I do not know. I'm reading and snickering at this comment real quick. Forrest Nelson says Paul's dogs are fighting over who gets to eat the sofa now that they've polished off other assorted items. It's so true. It's so true. They're like, we've
They're like
moved on.
stick of furniture by stick of furniture. We're gonna take this whole place down.
I mean, if you saw this place
Oh
right
my
now, if you walked in here, you'd be like, oh, do y'all got some Rottweilers up in here?
It's like, nope, two tiny puppies that are literally eating me out of house and home.
And
That's so
literally,
funny.
from
Oh my
baseboards to
God.
computer tables. It's
Let's
all.
see. Have what new case are each of you looking forward to covering now that Karina and Aaron are convicted? What are you covering next? Do you know?
So I've been going over Stefan's turns, but I feel for certain something's going to happen where that doesn't go to trial at the end of this
Yeah.
month. And then Donna Adelson coming up again. If that takes place, we have to see. Hold on.
Jeez.
And then wait. Is everybody cool? Okay, we're having puppy drama. Those are the two biggest things right there, and then that's kind of it right now. Yes, Stefan's turns is just awful, right? Grandma
I'm
Gotti, really.
following. Karina Cooper was convicted last week. My reaction to closing statements has already dropped for the members, but will drop for everybody. It'll be a public video tomorrow morning, starting at I think it's scheduled to drop at 6 a.m. So if you got a membership today, or if you're a member on my channel, you can go watch my very long reaction to closing statements for Karina Cooper on my channel. Everybody else will see it in the morning. Who else? Oh, and I'm covering that James Craig, the deadly dentist who
Oh, how
poisoned his
is that one?
over and over and over. It's
What's
an
the
old case from 2 years ago, but he's
Okay.
just coming to trial now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I covered him. I talked about him 2 years. I used to do lunchtime true crime every day at noon. But it got to be too labor intensive. I was doing a new case every day and then a lunchtime case. And I was like, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
So, but when I used to do lunchtime true crime, I would cover episodes of Snapped or just other assorted things. And one week I did Deadly Dentist Week. And so I found 5 dentists who had killed people. And each day I did a different deadly dentist. And so I've already done several video. When people started talking about this, James Craig, I was like, why do I know that name? Because God knows I don't remember any of the. Once I'm done covering it, it's gone from my brain. So I was able to search and I found my old videos about him, which I was watching them and I was like, these are hilarious. This is ridiculous. So let's see what else. What are we looking forward to covering? So I'm covering Shayna Hirsch just says, you two are the best. Thanks for the idea of covering this, Shayna. Um, Ivy Speed, how did the cop catch Aaron ditching the dehydrator at the local dump? Was the cops following her immediately after the deadly dinner, or was it just luck? I thought they got her on video, didn't they?
So they went and pulled the videotape footage of that. So these are the two key elements that, from my opinion of what I've read, like especially with the stuff that came out afterwards, that were the major tipping points, if you will. So first of
Mm-hmm.
all, Dr. Webster, who immediately was like, "How'd you get sick? Whatever." And she, or where'd you get the mushrooms? She was like, Woolworths. And immediately he said, I knew right then. I was expecting to hear an answer of, oh my God, I forged them. This must have been an accident. But when she said the thing or whatever, he knew. She didn't even look, ask, like all her behavior was completely off for how she should have been. So there's that. But then also when Don went to the hospital, so this is the father, who he had already been told in the previous times, not specifically about this event, by his son of, I think Aaron's trying to poison me. So when he went to the hospital, he brought his own vomit with him as evidence and saying, hey, this is probably going to be evidence. I think something really bad's occurred. So these two so to me, almost immediately when the people started going to the hospital, all during these moments, and Aaron going, the cops were very quickly like being let on of it's almost like it gives me goosebumps. This is almost like a perfect scenario of see something, say something working, because people in these
Yep.
situations and something's not right. This is bad. Call authorities and get them involved immediately. Kind of under the guise of we're worried about
Oh,
her. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, don't
yeah.
let her leave. She's crazy. She has kids at home. She could kill them.
It's weird to me that if you know somebody poisons people, then you go eat at their house. Like, I understand that these are good, kind people and they want to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm just too bitchy. I struggle to eat at people's houses just off rip, right? So if I know that you have a history of poisoning your husband, even if he's your estranged husband, I'm gonna be like, no, girl, I'm full. I'm just gonna bring this water that I brought myself from my house. I'm not taking anything. I might not even shake your hand. Like, what are you doing right now?
You would have to call me up talking about not only did I have $1 million winning lottery ticket that I'm handing to you, I already have it cash and the money is here. You just have to come pick it up and leave. And even then, I would question it because I'd be like,
Yeah, leave it at the driveway. Leave it at the
they,
driveway. I'm gonna do a drive by and hook it with like, a long hook and then drag it to the police station for it to be fully inspected and then maybe. Like, people are too nice.
yeah.
That's what it pays to be bitchy. I'm telling you right now. It pays to be bitchy. Like, no, I don't want that. I don't like that. Let me smell it first. No, 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 no. Though they said the Wellington was delicious.
Literally, we're like the best they've ever had. And Aaron, see, this is what I envisioned her doing, where she was telling Simon, she's like, I spent a long time working on that. I think she put as much love and care into that because she was playing the crime out in her mind, and she was going to
Yep.
make sure that was the best damn thing they got a hold of, or you know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Like it was going to be the best thing they ever ate. And she sat there cooking it and just stewing, playing it
Stirring
out in her
all the
head.
love and poison into it.
100%.
It was a meal to die for and from. Jesus
Literally.
Christ. Let's see. Did the surviving victim testify? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
fact
he
that
was
you needed
able
a
to.
liver transplant following a meal at this lady's house is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. God bless him. I mean,
Oh. He's the minister, right? Like all the other people were just, I think it was like a
yeah.
Sunday afternoon. The minister survived. I guess God was like, now let him stay a little while longer. Let him, he must have prayed extra hard or something. Oh my
I mean,
God.
literally, because like when you think about it, and again, well, also it was interesting too, and I said this in the video that I made, but I'm curious what other people think because I was a little bit confused by this. So if you've watched the video of Dr. Webster, the interviews he's given, right, where he's talking
Hmm.
about what went down in the hospital that he saw, and one of the questions that the news anchor asked him was like, almost like, "Oh my God, they suffered so much, they were so sick," and to me, Dr. Webster made it out like, yeah, they were sick, but not to the degree that the media is saying it, because it was almost like they went to the bathroom by themselves. They were functioning during the interview. They got up and went and threw up. They went to the bathroom, and I guess when things started shutting down, they put them in a coma. So I don't know. Like, my take on it was, I was trying to say they didn't suffer as bad as people are thinking. Almost like trying to make you feel better about
It's
it.
like food poisoning. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, it wasn't as bad, but I couldn't. It was just the way he said it was kind of odd to me. So I
Huh.
was like, did they not? I mean, I would hope they didn't suffer as much, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
hope
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Because I can't fathom what it would be like to be that poisoned by something. Like, how I can't even
So
handle
awful.
like food poisoning or the flu, let alone a death cat poisoning.
Look, I had RSV last winter, year ago maybe. I had RSV and I was like, obviously I'm going to die. This is the end of me. And I am the only female in my house. I live in a house full of men who love me unconditionally, but are profoundly useless, right? I love them so, so much. But if I want to get something to, I would be like, I can't breathe. And they would be like, well, what do you mean you can't breathe? I mean, like the number of questions I would have had to answer to get them to take me to the hospital. I was like, I didn't even leave a note. I just got
Yeah.
up, gathered myself, got my keys, and drove myself to the ER and was like, I can't breathe. And they were like, okay. And so they took me at the hospital where I live. There's like a bunch of hospitals around here, but the hospital that's closest to my house has an amazing ER. And so you can literally be in and out of the ER in like 90 minutes. Like other hospital, yeah, other major big city hospitals, you go and you're there for the night for a splinter, right? Our ER is like super, super fast. And also on the highways, they have like signs like if you go to the ER right now, it's a 20-minute wait, whatever. But the ER near me is very fast. So I was like, I'm just going to drop by the ER. They're going to give me some medicine. Hopefully I don't die. And then I go home. And I ended up being there for like 3 or 4 hours. And I was actually texting Purple Irish Sweater from my channel because nobody knew where I was. And I was like, if I die, like they had my husband's emergency contact, but it was the middle of the night into early morning. And she had made a comment and I was like, girl, what are you doing up? And she's like, what are you doing up? And I was like, oh, I'm actually in the ER and nobody knows. So if anything happens and she's a nurse, she was like, don't do that. You have to tell people. I was like, okay. And then I drove myself back home. It was fine.
You're like,
My
well, that would
lungs were
save me.
barely scarred.
Really? Ooh,
It's crazy. It was great. I was having bronchial seizures or something like that. My lungs were they were like I would be breathing fine and then they would seize up. And so I felt like I was dying and then they would relax. It was not a good situation.
that's awful.
Spasms, bronchial spasms, that's what it was. But I
Ugh.
was fine after a while.
How long did it take you to get over it? Did they give you like some kind of like a Z-Pack thing or something?
I got I know I got an inhaler. I don't they gave me a bunch of medicine. I got the prescriptions filled. I made my husband go pick them up and then I could not lay down. I could not breathe. I couldn't do anything. So I laid in my recliner chair for like 5 days. I literally never take off work. Number 1 because I have a ridiculous number of vacation like PTO, like vacation days, sick days, whatever, like 2 months worth or something. I never use them all, mostly because I love my job. I'm also slightly compulsive. I took a week off and my boss is like, "What do we need to come to? Are you okay? What's happening? Take more time. Take all the time you need." It was scary, but
Yeah.
I might have still made a couple videos. I certainly watched a lot. But
Oh
when I
yeah.
had enough air to talk, I was like, I'm just getting over RSV. So I'm not going to talk that much. But have y'all seen what is happening in this case? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I mean, I hear you. That's like whenever you're sick, it's like such a great time to catch up if you're able to watch or something like that to catch up on all like
Hmm.
the stuff going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep. It was nuts. It was nuts. Wait, there was another, I think I had one more question. Um, let's see. I haven't followed this case consistently. I know she poisoned Simon and he survived and his family. Did she poison anyone else that we know of?
Not that I know of. Obviously, the other people that that we know of here, but I don't know about. I would question what happened to her parents. I would question what happened to people in her
Oh,
past. I mean, and that's
oh,
just like stuff of speculation on my part. But I mean, at this point, it seems she clearly likes doing cruel things to people.
yeah.
You
Very
know, like
sadistic.
yeah,
Very
very
sadistic.
sadistic things. Sometimes, like, because the whole thing about have you seen the things on TikTok where people will call up to work jobs that they don't have and call out sick, and like with some crazy stuff and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go fishing today," and they're like one dude called Best Buy up, and it's like it was sad because it's like, wow, they don't even know who their employers are. He's basically like, "It's so nice out." He's talking like a total bro kid. It's like it's so nice out. I'm just gonna chill for the day, and they're like, "Are you in my department?" And going on and on. I was like, but it was funny in that case. But I'm like, okay, if you actually call up one of your coworkers, like, and do something like that, like, that's ballsy, right? I mean,
So crazy.
like, and then to sit there and
So
be watching
crazy.
what happened, it's just so yeah. There's no telling the stuff that she did, but other people said like her coworkers and stuff were like, yeah, she was the type that. Now this could be said in a lot of spaces in these days, though. So I'm kind of like, well, it is what it is. But like, there was no sense of camaraderie against her. Like, if coworkers can joke or do stuff. Like, she was not having any of that. But it's like a lot of people kind of do that. But I think in the context of her, it all adds up. Of like, she wasn't gonna be joking with people. She wasn't gonna be making friends. She wasn't gonna be doing this or that. She was gonna be doing weird stuff. This,
Hmm.
that, and the other. Northwest says the jail cooking incident. She went to solitary. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, she's even gotten in
He's
trouble
eating
already
food
for.
from the poisoner. You are in jail for poisoning people. The lady who's there in jail for poisoning people wants to make you lunch. Don't eat. Don't eat.
I wonder if the jail is like, we're gonna have her only cook for these people because we're gonna go ahead and just settle this once and for all. We're gonna save the taxpayer some money. Aaron, what do you want
Cook
to
for the
make
people on
everybody?
death row.
Literally,
She's the death row chef. No
yeah,
problem.
literally. She's
Oh
the
my
last failed
God.
chef.
Seriously. Wait, apparently the other prisoners hate her. No kidding. Who
You
would
know
like
she's
her? Listen.
insufferable. Like
Uh-uh.
as sad as it is, the way that Lori, so if you look at somebody like Lori Daybell, the way that she talks about stuff, I can see her working over other inmates to where it's like she can have conversations, she can talk, whatever. I don't see that for people like Aaron or Sarah
Yeah,
Boone.
no.
Like,
No.
especially like Sarah would try. I don't think Aaron would even try. I think Aaron would
Right.
just stare at you with that blank look on her face and just,
Big and dumb. She just
yeah,
looks big and dumb. Like, "Du- du- 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 du."
literally, literally.
Ugh. Ugh.
So yeah, I'm sure the inmates can't stand her, and especially at this point where she's like, I mean, I guess she is like when I'm trying to think of the level of infamy. To me, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Night Stalker,
Yep.
Manson's kind of a separate category of his own, but like. I feel like, and if you're over in Australia, I mean, let me know. I mean, are we talking like that level of infamy? Casey Anthony, O.J. Simpson,
Yep.
so on and so forth. Like, that level. So the inmates
Right.
have to be like, we are so sick of seeing her on our TV or like whatever, like, and then her walk around there smug, like, I didn't poison you guys. I love my family. You want to trade?
It's like,
Nobody's trading hot
no,
dogs with
girl.
her. Nobody's trading soup
Mm-mm.
with her.
Mm-mm.
No two for
Mm-mm.
one.
Mm-mm.
She
It's
ain't
like
getting
there's
nothing.
there's what do they call it? The charming sociopath, like that she is not. No
Yeah.
charm, none whatsoever. How you end up in prison with no friends? Like these people have not made the best decisions. That is how they ended up in long-term prison. Ma'am, you're going to prison for life. Maybe she gets her act right fully installed. I would love to hear Dr. John Matthias like break her down and explain what is the thinking behind somebody who like obsessively poisons people. It's wild to me.
Yeah. It reminds me of
Yeah.
Norman Bates and Psycho.
Yes. Yes, Dominique says, I don't think all psychopaths are charming. Clearly, because she is clearly a psychopath and she is clearly not charming. And her kids, like, how do her kids reconcile all of this, right? She confessed to slipping dried mushrooms in their food just to see and whatever. These kids dodged a bullet with this woman going to jail. There's no question in my mind.
Oh, 100%. Like,
It's crazy.
and I wonder if the
Wait,
kids know, like, if they have that, like, sixth sense of, like, mom's off. Because I would
yeah,
imagine there had to be some, if you are, like, a pathological liar to the degree that she seems to be, and the stuff
yeah,
that she's pulling and whatnot, pardon me, um, I would think that her kids, especially because they're older, or at least one of them, I mean, I say older, we're not talking about young kids, but old enough to know, you know what I mean? Like, well, why would you say this or that? Like, you can add two and two together type thing or start getting those vibes.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I just feel like, I don't know. And again, now that we know what we know, oh, the kids would have started getting sick or dead at
Yep.
some point. What
Yep.
she had run out of people,
100%.
I guess in her world, whatever she thought she was going to accomplish by killing off her entire family and surviving the lunch, which I don't know how anyone in their right mind, but I mean, I guess she wasn't, would think they would get away with that. Pardon me, would get away with that. But had she carried it out, the
Mhm.
kids at some point were going to be, they could have been grown adults at a certain point, start having kids of their own. Come on over for the holidays. Once something where that relationship, and probably when the kids left, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yep.
she seems to have this abandonment thing. Although the pattern she
Yes.
was on with Simon was like they would go on a trip or get ready for a trip, and she was like, let's pull out the rat poison. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it was she was using, but like,
Yeah.
I just think it was almost
Or
like a
her
punishment thing.
I think I could see her, even if she spared her children, I think their spouses would not have been safe. Because if you leave your mom's house and you go spend all this time with your spouse and you're so tied up in your spouse, I think the spouses of her children would not have been safe. Her grandchildren, like, she is a sick, twisted lady. She belongs down to the nervous hospital. I mean, but you can't fix like psychopathy, can you? I don't know if there's a cure for that.
I don't know. I mean, it would be fascinating to know, or if there's like a way that if the person is self-aware, that they can maneuver through life. But I mean,
Yeah,
I don't. Well, let's put it this way: like, I know not all psychopaths kill people, but like, if you're talking
right.
about people who are willing to go there, so you could
Most
have
of
like
them become
hard,
CEOs, they say.
literally, like I was thinking that dude. What's that American? What was that American Psycho? Now, mind you, he killed a bunch of people, but like that kind of like tongue in cheek, dark comedy movie about I can't remember his name, the character, but Christian Bale played him, and I mean that's kind of what you're dealing with. But people who are willing to kill, I just think a psychopath once they've gotten away with it, it's just they
Mhm.
don't feel anything. It's like, oh, okay, like
Yep,
here we go, you know, it is what
yep.
it
Or like
is.
cult leaders. That's an excellent point. Cult leaders, CEOs. There are ways that you can make your craziness really work for you, right? Like if you're really, really driven, you can maybe become like, a politician, the leader of a company, the leader of a country. Like you could run big organizations and people, cults, things like that. But once you start doing this kind of stuff, yeah, nah. Right, here we go. CEOs, cops, surgeons. Um, North Wilding says CEOs, cops, surgeons, religious leaders, lawyers have a high concentration of cluster B psycho. Yeah, yeah, a lot of cluster B stuff going on with all of them. CEOs, cops, surgeons, religious leader. But there's all of those roles speak to having a certain amount of power, right? Like being really ruthless and stuff like that. Crazy, 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 crazy. There was one more question on here. Do all dumps have cameras? Seems like a good idea. That is a good idea. And I do not know. Do all dumps have cameras?
See, I was trying to think because see where I'm at now, it's just garbage service that comes like like in a city or something. Where I was at
Yeah.
before, we had to take our stuff to a place like where Aaron was they call it a tip in Australia, I guess. I mean, over here I
Yeah.
call it dump, or the recycling center or whatever. I
Yep.
don't know. I feel like they do have cameras though. I mean, it would only make sense.
Mm.
Like, why wouldn't you? Because of this reason right here. Also, people just breaking in, like doing crazy stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's a good question. So I feel like they should have them,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Now, if they
For sure.
do, you know, I don't
Where
know.
I live, you have garbage choice, which sounds crazy, but you can have we don't have like a garbage man that comes down the street and picks up your garbage. We have private garbage pickup. So just like, everybody hires somebody to cut your grass, you hire a guy to take your garbage away. So some people hire like a mom and pop, just like a guy with a truck. Um, some people hire one of the big garbage collection companies. Literally every single day is garbage day on my block because you get garbage pickup twice a week. And if I have the same company as the people across the street from me, then they come and pick up my garbage and that guy's garbage 2 days a week. Then the next neighbor has a different company. Literally every single day there's garbage pickup. And there's all different rules depending on who you hire and all different prices. So you're not supposed to put your garbage on the curbside. It's house side pickup for most companies where they come onto your property and they take the garbage, you put it at the side of your house. They take it off the side of your house and then they take it away. But recycling is municipal, or you could take it to the recycling center.
Oh
It's
wow.
crazy.
Yeah. At one
These
point,
dogs, baby, can you let the dogs out?
who
I
let the
don't know why the
dogs out? Woof, woof,
I don't
woof.
know why the doggy door is not open. Hold, please. Let me go beat a kid. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. So before the place I was at before, where I said you had to go to the garbage dump or whatever. So at a certain point, I did what Kathy did, where I hired somebody who would come, and it was basically, I mean, I actually went to high school with them. They would come by and pick the garbage up like directly from the house or whatever. And this is like a super busy doing stuff or whatever, and it just made more sense to do that. So like having to go into town or whatever, and they didn't charge anything, and so it was perfect. And it was like somebody I went to high school with, so it was all cool. And that was really convenient. Yeah, but other than that, like you have to go, and I like the situation of it. Now, here in an apartment complex, they have obviously just dump trucks that come or whatever, and get the
Yeah.
garbage and whatnot. But yeah, there's yeah, it's that would get it. So is your street like noisy with and I'm thinking, but it doesn't have to be garbage trucks. It could be somebody with just a truck. I'm thinking like constant garbage truck noise.
Company, if for some of our neighbors who have like some of the see, when I first moved here 20 years ago, when we moved to this town, I just put my garbage out and it kept staying and staying. And then one of my neighbors is like, "You're going to get a ticket." And I was like, "How does garbage work?" And they were like, "You have to hire a guy." And I was like, "How do I find a guy?" And they're like, "Oh, just wait till you see someone." And like, it didn't make sense to me. And so I was out one morning doing I don't even know what. And I see a little old man in a pickup truck, just like some random old dude in a pickup truck walking along the sides of people's houses, going onto and I was like, "Hey, can you take mine too?" And he's like, "Yeah." He gives me his business card and he's like, "Do you want stickers or do you want bulk?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Okay, so for $10, we'll give you 30 stickers. And every time you put a bag of garbage out, you put this sticker on. And then when you run out of stickers, then you let me know." Like I had to call him on the phone and this is my address. Can I get more stickers? That was one price. Or for $34, it was unlimited garbage pickup. So when it was just me and one kid, we did stickers. And then after a while, we switched to unlimited. And then that guy got bought out by like a guy with 2 trucks. And then that guy got bought out by a guy with 8 trucks. And now I use a company that's brothers. And it's like, say the last name is Johnson. So like the Johnson brothers had a garbage pickup, these 2 brothers, but then they got into a fight. So now there's like Johnson Sanitation and Johnson Garbage. Like it's exactly the same name, but the last part of the name is different. And so if you call Johnson Sanitation, but you really need Johnson Garbage, they'll be like, yeah, I'm sorry, you have the wrong number. But they will never tell you about the other company because the two brothers don't speak. It's ridiculous.
That
So I
sounds
pay my
so
40.
crazy.
It's so it's so North Jersey. But little one by one, the little garbage people are getting bought up. So some people have waste management, which is like big, 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 but I think they're too expensive. So I have one of the company where the two brothers have the two companies. I use one of the brothers. I forget which one. Um, they're pretty good and they're not crazy expensive, but their trucks are not gigantic. So people who use waste management on waste management days, it's noisy, but every other day of the week, it's literally a guy in like a minivan or a pickup truck. It's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild. That's so
It's
interesting.
so it's so ridiculous. But then if you need like heavy garbage pickup, you have to call them and be like, okay, if you just put like something heavy out there, it'll sit out there on your sidewalk for weeks or months. You have to go on now. You could go online and be like, okay, I threw away a couch. And they'll be like, oh, we'll pick it up today. And then they'll come and pick it up. But you have to let them know. And then they'll send you a bill based on the weight of whatever you threw away.
Wow. That is pretty, because see here, if you have crazy stuff to get rid of, so like when I was moving, it was like paint cans. I just think of like just moving out of the country, you know what I'm saying? Not the country, but like out
Yes.
of the country living, you know what I'm saying? Like, so all that kind of stuff. So you would have to take the stuff to the landfill, and the landfill is like super complicated. Where it's like, do you have to go to the city landfill or this landfill? You can only take these here on these days and these hours and blah blah blah. And I'm like, this is why people end up burning garbage like in their property and stuff like that. I was like, please, like I can, it's all tracking now. I see how we've arrived at this situation. It was
Absolutely.
insane. But to sit there and like, I
Absolutely.
remember like Fort Lauderdale, and the way it was down there was like bulk pickup days. So it was like whatever bulk pickup day was, the roads would be like just stuff. And so the rich people neighborhoods, there would literally be people out with their trucks just working those streets in the rich neighborhoods. And I mean, you would say, I mean, people throw away crazy stuff, you know, and
Yep.
people, you see all the trucks going up and down the road, just going through people's bulk pickup on the side of the roads and stuff, getting all their things, doing all their stuff, whatever. It's when you see like how much garbage we make as people, it's crazy.
It's unbelievable. It's I try hard to minimize my garbage. Like I do what do you call it?
Thanks,
I have
Peachy
a
Keen.
rankle. Thanks, Peachy Keen. Um I have a rankle, what do you call it? It makes compost. So like some of these compost makers make like pre-compost. The rankle is more expensive than other compost makers, but it makes complete compost because a lot of these things they make it and then you have to put it in the ground to turn it into complete compost. But the rankle makes complete compost, and my it made my strawberries grow really big. All my vegetables, my plants grow really big.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
so
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's like we try to reduce. Like I use cloth napkins, like all kinds of stuff. Like, but there's 5 people living in this house. There's garbage.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of garbage. And the nice man comes and takes it away and we pay the $48 a month or whatever it is and it's done. I don't want to think about it again. And then it goes off to Pennsylvania. Hi Pennsylvania. All
Yeah.
about the New Jersey garbage goes to Pennsylvania. New York garbage I think goes for like to Ohio or something like that. It's crazy.
That wild. It's
They
wild.
truck it far. I mean, they used to send it. There's a place called Fresh Kills in New York, and all the garbage used to go to Fresh Kills, which
Really.
is nuts.
That name is kind of scary. Is that where they send the fresh kills off to?
I
Speaking of,
suspect.
I'll say a couple of, we'll kind of wrap up here because I know you got to get
Yes.
going. I got to get going. So, Dexter, you know, the TV show is back on with Resurrection. Episodes 1 and 2 are out, invested already. Um,
Ooh.
so, definitely worth watching. And then you have Brian
Ooh.
Koberger's new documentary, not his documentary, but the Idaho Ford doc is out, or whatever. It's been out for a couple of days, I think. That's
Oh,
out.
I didn't know that was coming out. Okay. Okay.
A book's coming out later this month about it or whatever, um, by James Patterson, I think, and somebody else. I can't remember who.
Oh my
So yeah,
God.
But yeah, so just lots of stuff is going on. Lots
Lots
of
of stuff.
stuff. Yeah, so
I'm
far,
on
episode
the
1, 2.
edge of my seat for Adelson. I'm itching
I
for
know.
Adelson.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's going to take place when it's going to take place, or do you think you think it's going to be pushed off?
Who knows? I think that that adorable chocolatey judge has had about enough, and I think he's going to try and get it to go on time. It's going to take place during CrimeCon, which is crazy.
Well, we'll be sitting there doing our meet and greet with the thing, streaming, watching it. We'll just
In one earbud.
literally, that would be kind of fun to do that.
Yeah.
See, I got to look at it again, but I'm like I'm making these dates up. Like, let's say CrimeCon is the 5th to the 8th, but I'm going there from like the 2nd to the 9th or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not those exact dates. I can't remember without looking. Whatever it is, it just so worked out that Emily and I arrived at the airport like 30 minutes apart at Denver. Same, like multiple days earlier. So she was like, "I'll just wait for you." I was like, "Yeah, just wait. We'll get an Uber and like go to the hotel together. We'll grab lunch."
That's so cool.
I know. It was so
I
funny.
keep going back and forth. I have one day where I'm like, I'm absolutely going, and the next day I'm absolutely not. I'm supposed to go with my little true crime posse, including Tanika's 2 cents. But Tanika, who is pregnant, is going to be very pregnant by then, so she might not be up for traveling.
Yeah.
And I'm delivering her baby, so if we have to figure it out.
You got to kind of sort it through. That makes sense.
Maybe we'll live stream me delivering her baby. I mean, I just made up that I'm delivering her baby, but I'm manifesting.
She's over there like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know. Let me tell my doctor."
I believe she's having a C-section. I was like, I have seen many C-section videos. I've had 3 C-sections. How hard could it be? We'll see.
How hard could it be? I've got this.
How hard could it be?
I'll do it for half the price. Don't worry about it. I got you.
At-home C-section, no problem. No problem.
Those are running cheap.
I got some nail clippers over here. We're going to work it out. No problem at all.
Right. We got some ice cubes. We'll just ice you down. Got a little, there it was.
Yep.
We got one of my little things. You can have her give the little dog turn, be like, bite down on this. Well, not
bite on this. Yeah. I knitted a sock today. I feel like I can do anything. Wait, I was showing my members. I knitted a sock.
That looks nice. I love big, thick socks for the winter time, like at home, cozy socks. That is so
I've been teaching myself to knit all week. And so the members, I've been like, okay, now I dropped some stitches. It needs some repair. I also spun this yarn myself. I got the fiber. I spin on my spinning wheel. So I spun the yarn and knitted this sock. I'm also allergic to wool. That's another conversation for another day. So I cannot wear my sock, but I did knit it. I'm very pleased with myself.
Wow. That is amazing. You're so crafty.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But I'm figuring stuff out. So I feel like if I could knit a sock, I could deliver a baby. Same thing. Same.
There you go. We'll report back to us on that one.
I will. I absolutely will. So listen, everybody, make sure that you like on both channels, subscribe on both channels if you have not already. Anything else we need to tell the good people before we let them go?
No, I just appreciate everybody hanging out. Thank you to all the mods for keeping Cushions fluffed and the sofa going. And thank you, Kathy, for being willing to do this. I was like, oh, this will be fun to read through this with Kathy and then catch up and on everything going on.
Many, many, many thanks for the invite. I love it so much. And I'm going. Is that a puppy tail? Is that a puppy head? What's that?
This one's Jake. Matt's over there eating. They're all very interested in what's going on over there. Very intrigued.
Cute. All right, true crime friends, here's my outro. And don't forget to look for Not Spike at the very end of the video. Y'all have a good night.
Dear true crime friends, we clutch our pearls and laugh again. We all gather around, Kathy has a story to tell, our favorite comedian. Heifer, please, I don't have the free heaven buffet takes me away. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 hey. The world is filled with chaos muppets that like people to kick the bucket from Idaho, Iowa, and everywhere in between. Half a please boncation in the first degree. Half a please come solve the case with me. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away.